Yeah, my background is obviously I'm Irish. I've been a serial technology entrepreneur for many years, but by far the best company I've ever developed is the one that we're currently working on called Ammado. We've been building Ammado quietly over the last 5 or 6 years, and what we've done is we've built the world's largest global online donation platform, where you can make a donation to any of 1.6 million nonprofits in virtually every country in the world, with the exception of North Korea and a few more, and in 84, 86 currencies and 12 languages. And there's a lot of digital innovation in it, but to be honest, the most difficult thing in building Ammado, it's a bit like when the guy came out with the first fax machine. He was a brave person buying it because there was no one to send a fax to. Building the analog structure of having nonprofits in every country and having relationships and then building those relationships with the biggest organizations was a real challenge. However, today we're actually now reaping the benefits of that, because not only did that give us time to develop the technology, but we've also come up with a number of innovations which I'd really like to show you. So these are some of the nonprofits that we have relationships with, and then these are some of the customers that we work with. The other beauty about Ammado is that we are industry agnostic, we're location agnostic, and we're scale agnostic. So you can have a hedge fund here in Zug with 10 people as a customer, or you can have Nestle with 339,000 employees. One of the biggest implementations of what we do is when there's a natural disaster, like say the earthquake in Nepal. Many large companies want to respond to that by encouraging their employees to donate by.
Very sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, and this will explain the technology, and then I'll talk to you about the innovation. So when something like Nepal happens and a company like, let's take UBS, want to respond to it, in the past, before Ammado existed, if they were working with the Red Cross, they'd contact the Swiss Red Cross, who go around and get some people to build a microsite to get a credit card merchant account. And when they'd make a global appeal, if I was sitting in UBS in Tokyo, I'd have a lot of barriers to entry. First of all, I could only donate in probably 1 or 2 currencies. Secondly, I didn't get any tax relief because I would be making my donation to the Swiss Red Cross, which is not a registered charity in Japan. What happens with Ammado is the company comes onto Ammado to set up a fundraising community, which is like setting up a Facebook page. You need 0 technical knowledge. And then they copy and paste the code on their intranet. So if I go back to my Japanese example, I'm sitting in Japan, I open the email from my CEO, the Ammado giving widget comes up, the beneficiary is pre-populated, whatever UBS for a Nepal appeal. It's in the Japanese language and yen is pre-ticked as the currency. So my thinking time is down to a couple of seconds. If I make a donation of 100,000 yen, my employer matches it, and then in the background, Ammado takes that donation and puts it into the Japanese Red Cross bank account and issues the tax receipt. So what I believe we have is we have a whole product solution for each party in our ecosystem. For you, the individual, it's a very nice user experience. For the company, it allows them to distribute it globally, and then for the nonprofit, they can handle many more corporate partners, and they can also scale it within companies. So that's the core technology, and we have many companies using it around the world. So you can give, as I said, to all the large nonprofits, but also to literally thousands and thousands of small nonprofits all over the world. In building Ammado, I've also built a number of advisory board members and investors from around the world, and some of them are here. So, I have John Ryan from Silicon Valley. I have Elizabeth Chambers, who's the Chief Strategy Officer of Western Digital. The former CEO of EcoBank is an investor and advisor. And they've always been helpful in terms of the globalization and the footprint of Ammado. I'll just skip over this and these are some examples of the type of customers we deal with. So that's the Red Cross. Here's UBS use it for online donations from their clients and their employees to their Optimus Foundation. GlaxoSmithKline are running a global campaign in 100 countries with their employees for Save the Children, whereby they'll match all donations from employees and raised by employees. And then here's a very interesting one. During the Nepal crisis, Airbnb did an appeal not just to their employees but to their members for Oxfam, and they got donations within 2 days from 96 countries, something that simply couldn't have happened without this platform. And here's an example of Société Générale doing a peer-to-peer fundraising. It's a bike race challenge in 7 countries in Asia. And this is one of our innovations then. Is everyone familiar with peer-to-peer fundraising for charities? I presume most people are. So literally in every country in the world, in every country in the world, there's local peer-to-peer fundraisers. And about 18 months ago, we were trying to think, how does ammado compete with all of these local peer-to-peer fundraising platforms for charity challenges? And then we came up with the idea, well, look, nearly anyone who's training for a charity challenge like a half marathon, 10K run is using some type of a smartphone fitness device. I don't know if you know, like Runtastic or Map My Run or these. So we started discussions to partner with those, and we've signed Adidas. So the Adidas app has embedded in it the entire peer-to-peer fundraising of ammado. So it means if I'm in the UK and I'm doing the London Marathon, instead of having to go out onto another platform like BT Donate or Virgin Money, I simply set it up on my Adidas platform. And that was kind of cool and very interesting, and that's an amazing opportunity. But very recently, I'm not even sure if I would have any great emotional attachment to my smartphone app for training. However, we are now engaging with some of the top sports clubs in the world. And here's an example of Arsenal. It's a Premier League club in the UK, but all of the big clubs have fans all over the world, and they have no way of engaging them socially. So basically what Arsenal is testing now, and this is live for their employees, is having an Arsenal peer-to-peer platform. And the benefit of that is, let's say if I'm from Dublin in Ireland and I've been an Arsenal supporter, but I haven't in reality, for 30 years, I'm definitely going to do my peer-to-peer fundraising on the Arsenal platform. And we're talking to like all the major clubs in the United States and also in places like Spain and elsewhere. Okay? Coming from that development, we've also, and we will be releasing this in the US with 10 leading US stars from NFL, NBA, UFC, where we can turn an individual celebrity athlete into their own peer-to-peer fundraising platform. And here's an example. This should go live within a short period of time. I don't know if you know Chris, but he's one of the leading mixed martial arts fighters. But we've embedded in this the ability for his sponsoring brand to do a micro sponsorship of anyone who does a peer-to-peer fundraising on Chris's platform. So in this case, Adidas, or not Adidas, well, Reebok is Adidas. Reebok will make the first $50 donation. So if I go on to set up a fundraising community, I set it up and I'm doing it on Chris' platform, but the first donation comes from Reebok. So what's Reebok getting out of it? They're actually harnessing the entire network of the sports star. And that's potentially extremely large for us. Just 2 other innovations I'll show you very briefly, and then I'll take questions. Because of the diversity of the technology, this has allowed us to create the world's only global donation gift card. And by that I mean is you can come on to ammado or one of our partners, you can buy a donation gift card online, you can distribute it online, and you can redeem it online. And one of the partners we're working with is the office company Regis, and this will just show you, this is on their own platform. I'm not going to go through it all, but if I want to buy a gift card, instead of buying a gift card for Globus or Amazon, I'm brought to a co-branded landing page. It tells you an opportunity to make a positive impact through the gifts, incentives, rewards you give, whether you're doing it corporately or individually. There's a very short video which is aimed at corporations, but you'll get the idea.
It starts with a happy ending. But how did we get here? And how can you be part of it? As a part of your job, you have a global base of staff and customers that you want to reward. In the past, you may have done this with typical industry offerings. But how do you cut through the clutter? How do you break through and give something with real meaning and real value? Ammado, the digital experts in charitable giving, now offer you a way to make your reward truly meaningful in a global way. The Ammado gift card. It works like this. First, you create the gift. The cards are essentially a 12-digit code voucher, available in 78 currencies for any denomination, supporting 1.6 million non-profits. Customize the offering to support your company's global charitable brand strategy, or leave it completely open. It's up to you. Distribute the gift cards by sending them digitally or using a fully customizable print version, or put the digital code on whatever you like. Finally, you can track your gift's impact with analytics, which will show you how the gift cards have been redeemed and the difference you and your company have made. This really is the way to create true engagement, a smarter, more caring approach to gift giving.
And then the person can come down, take out their credit card and buy a donation gift card in any of 86 currencies. When you send it to someone and it's optimized for mobile devices, I send myself one from our demo company. So I redeem the gift card. The person who's buying the gift card can also restrict where it can be given. In this case, I restricted it to 6 beneficiaries, which again goes to show our footprint. So the recipient here could take that $5 donation gift card and give a piece to, say, Oxfam India, Greenpeace Brazil, say UNHCR, and say Save the Children USA. They hit OK, and it's done, unless they want to change the allocation of the resource. And let's say, because I think Greenpeace are in the other room, I'll give them a bit more on this one. Lock it, and it can vary up and down. And that's it. It's a super experience. You hit donate now, you're paying with a donation gift card. Done and dusted. Okay? And you can share it on Facebook and everything else. And then finally, just to explain the size of the market for gift cards, in the United States alone, the gift card market is $160 billion US. It's been growing compound all during the recession at 8% per year, and there's virtually zero of that goes to the non-profit sector because there is no system. And basically, the non-profits that we're dealing with are absolutely delighted because we're taking funds from a new theme of it's coming out of the pockets of iTunes, Amazon, Starbucks, various stores, etc., and going into having social impact all over the world. Then finally, taking all of that together, we've developed it's a new division of Ammado. It'll be launched in a couple of months, and it's going to be called the Ammado Philanthropy Academy. And the whole idea is to use this technology to teach young people philanthropy. By young people, I'm talking between 10 and 20. So the whole idea is that you, as a parent, grandparent, or aunt and uncle, you'll be brought to the Ammado Philanthropy Academy, and you'll buy, let's say, your 14-year-old niece 5 Swiss francs for the next 50 weeks. And you put in her email, put in her the message. So the first week, she'll get it. She'll almost certainly open it on her mobile phone. But instead of seeing 5 or 6 charities or restricted, she'll only see 3 30-second videos. And those 3 30-second videos will be on one topic, like, say, humanitarian organizations. So there would be, on the first week, it might be a video from the Red Cross, from Oxfam, and Save the Children. And then she can allocate her $5 or $10 to these, and then she can share those all over her social media. But we'll have embedded the donation capability into those videos, and then any of her friends who are maybe touched by the video can take out their credit card and donate through Facebook or YouTube or whatever else. And then it goes on like that. The next week it's 3 more videos on a different topic, like children and youth, or arts and culture. And so any of you have got children in your lives, just mark the 1st of September and get your checkbook out. Thank you.